I've got a little bit of a problem here. Hey everybody, welcome back to Garage Joy. So as a lot of you long-term viewers know, my side yard has been a mess for a long time. Probably ever since the channel started, maybe before then, I can't remember. It's been a long time. But I'd really like to make it nice so that my family can enjoy it and it's not ugly. We've lived in the house about 4 years and it's about time to get it done. And as you can see, I am standing on some nice sod here. So let's go back and see what it took to get to this point. And you guys can see in just a few minutes what took me days, weeks, months, you might even say years to accomplish. Last spring, I hired somebody to come in and level this all out. It exposed the electrical line for my well, which you see right there. And so I needed to dig a new trench to lower it down. I did not want to use the backhoe because the backhoe has like a 16-inch wide bucket, which is a little bit overkill. I did not want to tear up all the nice grading that the dirt work guy did. So I ended up trying to use a shovel, which worked great in the sand. And then we got down to some sandstone and clay, started getting harder. I'm getting tired of doing all this digging. I'm running out of time. We have rain on the forecast. All that begs a question, is there another way to do this? As I was looking into it, I was reminded of something that I've heard about in the past but never tried out, which is using a pressure washer. Can you dig with a pressure washer? My concern is that it's just gonna fill everything up with a bunch of water, make this really messy. I just don't know if this is gonna work well. I want it back the way the dirt guy left it by the time the rain hits. I don't know if that's possible, because once I get water into the trench, how am I gonna get out? Should I start at the top or at the bottom of the trench? If I start at the top, all the water is gonna run down to the bottom. If I start at the bottom, it'll just be full of water. I don't know, I just have some questions, but this could get pretty messy. Starting with a 25-degree tip. Yippee! Okay, so yes, the pressure washer can blast through the sandstone. I think I've got dirt on my lips. No kidding. Yeah, it'll scoop through that clay. I think I'm gonna get messy doing this maybe. Like, how am I supposed to see through my face shield when my face shield is so covered with mud? But if I don't have my face shield there, then my eyes are gonna be covered with mud. Yeah. Fun times. So which is easier, pressure washer or this? Well, so much for my trench. We got a lot of rain. I stopped digging for a while because rain was coming. Didn't think I could get everything done ahead of the time. I really want this fixed because I don't want the hillside to erode anymore. And I want to get some turf down there if I can. I don't think we're going to be using a pressure washer. And I don't have any better ideas for the backhoe. I'm probably just going to hump to it and clear out the trench with a shovel and then get back to the pickaxe to fix up the high spots, which I think were right in here. We got more rain, and so I have more mud out here in the trench. I did clean this all out a week or so ago, and I think I got my sandstone dug down or pickaxed down to a lower level. Hopefully we'll have the trench closed up again before we get our next rain. And then after that rain, we can go ahead and try to get grass growing out here. Nice yucky green mess. Oh, it's deeper than I thought. I think it's time to break out the shovel and to break out a sweat. I bailed most of this out on Saturday. It's Monday and it's full again. I think we're pretty much done now. I'm hot and tired. I think we got down pretty much to set depth here. It's time to wrap this thing up. So there's a little bit of water that came back in here, not too much. And plan being that I will put in, you know, maybe 6 inches of dirt, then lay down my safety tape, my caution tape. I want to run electricity out to the shop. So I'm probably going to reuse a lot of this trench just because I don't want to dig a trench again. Power is going to come from right here. I'm not going to do that today, but what I do want to do is go ahead and bury some conduit, so all I have to do is tie into it at both ends. So I'm going to run some extra conduit from here through a lot of this. Yeah, it's not going to be exactly the shortest path from the shop to the house, but the path of least resistance, so to speak. All right, enough talking, let's get to it. Alright, so I have duct taped up the ends of the pipes, and I use plastic bags to keep from getting duct tape residue on the next joint, or rather when I need to glue it next. I glued the middle 2 joints, so this is about 30 feet of pipe. Seems about right. So I am probably gonna go ahead and throw this into the trench here in just a second. I'm so happy to have this thing filled in. It's turned into quite the saga. A lot of work goes into digging a ditch. All right, well, I think I'm gonna call it quits for tonight. It's almost 11 o'clock. But the trench is looking pretty good, and I think it's in a good spot for getting a little bit of rain. So we'll see what happens. The rain did not really wash out the trench any, which is good. I think I'm gonna finish filling in the trench now, and I'm probably just going ahead and use the shovel. I was thinking about using the tractor, my dad's tractor. Not this one, but my dad's. I'm just concerned that if I try to fill it in with the loader, that I'm gonna dig too deep or something like that. So I'm just gonna try to go ahead and finish this out with a shovel. I do think I'll bring my dad's tractor in here with the rake on it to try to clean stuff up a little bit. All right, well, it is probably a few weeks later on the trench project, and things have happened. We got rain, a lot of rain. I was working on filling in that last stretch there. I got distracted because we sold a mower, and then things got busy again, and we got rain, and the hillside actually eroded away this time. It's never really done that. The trench filled in from dirt above the trench, and the dirt above the trench created a barrier which eroded again. So now we have like a new trench over there, and this all caved in and it got washed down to my warning tape. So we've got work to do, unfortunately. I hope we're done with the gully washers for the year, I guess. I mean, getting rain is great, but I need to get this hillside put back together. Didn't wash out too bad over here, just a little bit. I wish I'd put sod on this like a couple months ago. Would have looked so much better. Wouldn't have had this nasty fence here. This wouldn't have washed out. But it all came down to not being decisive on getting the trench taken care of. Something I thought would be so simple that became backbreaking, and I just don't have tons of time to spend out here digging. We learned lessons. We spent money trying to get this project taken care of quicker, but then I didn't want to spend too much more money, and I didn't realize how hard it would be to dig by hand. And now some of the work that we've done is going to have to be redone. Hopefully I can redo it myself. It is what it is. We finally got that trench dug deep enough for what we were trying to do at the time. Today, I'm trying to get ready for actually laying sod now. So in order to do that, I'm gonna try to scalp this, get rid of those tree roots and stuff like that in here, and probably bring some dirt back in because some got eroded out. So we'll probably steal some dirt from that pile to try to fill in this a little bit. Everything is washed away around the grass roots. And second plan is I'm gonna go ahead and try to finish this end of my shop electric trench. So basically I need to get the backhoe, and I just need to run a trench from here to there. See if we can get the backhoe to run well enough to do that. The backhoe's been having some issues that have not been resolved yet, so mostly related to the charging system and bad battery. So we'll try to get that done. Then maybe things will dry up enough that we can work on them a little bit more with my dad's tractor, his Kubota. So right here, that's like sandstone. Well, is that sandstone? Sod's not going to do great on that. We need to build up some soil above it. Hopefully next Friday, I can take off and lay sod here. And we're probably going to start with just 2 pallets and see how it goes, which would be about 1,000 to 1,200 square feet, which should be able to do a lot of this side here. I'm not going to do the side against the house. There's a lot more grass there, and we may put in a gravel bed around the house at some point. So I don't really want to lay sod there and then put a gravel bed in, and it's not really an issue with it eroding as much. So we're going to focus on trying to put sod in here. That's the plan. Time to fire up the Z. So my plan is to mow this whole area first, and then I'm going to come back and scalp just the section that I want to be doing the drill work on. All right, so we have got the mowing done. We've scalped it. I pulled out some tree roots that were in the way. I just did some measuring, trying to figure out roughly how much sod I'm going to need. I think we can make it work with the 2 pallets, 1,000 to 1,200 square feet for the most of it. But I'm pretty much going to start at the far end and work my way this way. Do about a 15-foot swath. The very far end near the carport, we're not going to do that because we think we're going to add onto the patio right there. So hopefully we get that done soon as well. It'd be nice if that was done first so we'd have a good border to sod up against. We may actually leave the sod a little bit short so we can go back and add a strip in there. Next step up is going to be fire up the backhoe and try to dig that little section of trench there. Hopefully it goes smoothly and we can move on to getting everything leveled out here. Again, I'm doing that first because I don't want the backhoe to tear up what I am leveling out. So that's the thought process. I think we've done all the digging we need to do with the backhoe. If I go any closer, I think I'm gonna hit my other line. I think I'm gonna finish this up with a shovel. Yippee! I love shoveling. All right, well, you can see the line there with the duct tape on the end. I basically put like a sandwich bag over it and a bunch of duct tape so it's nice and clean. Tried to keep the water out. Looks like we got this trench pretty good. Here's my new piece here. We shall see if it's the right length. Oh, this is gonna be exactly right. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 joints to make on the PVC. Naturally, I can't find my tools for cutting the conduit pipe. That's okay. I'll use my oscillating multi-tool with a cut-off blade. It'll be okay. But man, using the backhoe to dig this trench, that was way easier than using a shovel. I was using the shovel there at the very end. I probably spent as much time doing that part as I did digging the rest of this with the backhoe. Granted, most of this was pretty soft and it got harder right there near the end. I'm very thankful to have the backhoe, and I kind of wish I'd used it last time around. The backhoe does struggle a little bit getting down to that sandstone, but you just kind of slowly work and just let the teeth start ripping through it. And it's sure a lot easier than using a pickaxe. 36 inches. Looks pretty good. Not square, but Doesn't have to be perfect. Yes, it does bug me slightly. Let's try not to get this on our pants. Let this stuff dry for a little bit. So I've got a question for you all. What are these white stripes in the sandstone? This is kind of getting into sandstone. We've got this white stuff which seems very sandy, and then I got like a little dark stripe of clay in the middle. Something gooey. Maybe it's organic material. Don't really know. Was it cracks in the red sandstone that the white sand filled into and then roots grew through it and rotted? I found a lot of stuff like that when I was digging the trench through here. Interesting. Anyway, time to get this done now. We've got the pipe like there. That one's gonna need to face up and that one's gonna need to match. So we will see how this goes. Here's the fun part. I was not expecting this. We are 6 inches too long. Oh shucks. What can I do about that? I should have dry laid it, but I was afraid of getting dirt in it. Well, that's annoying. I can go ahead and put it in, but now I'm going to be bringing to the house back here. And I've already put glue on there, so what do I do about that? I got myself in a little situation here. I was not expecting this to be long. I'm going to go ahead and try to glue it now. See if I can make it work. All right. I think I can make it work. I just need to dig that out a little bit further, and I think it'll work. There's a slight bow in there. Worst thing that can happen is I mess it up and we have to redo it. No, the worst thing that can happen is that I'm afraid to get anything done and I don't get anything done. Whew, that was close. I was concerned there for a minute. Okay. All right, glue should be dry enough that we can go ahead and start with the backfilling. I will get a yellow caution tape to lay down over top, and we'll try to get some sand under there so it's not too bendy flexy. Right, tape is laid. It is time for backfilling. We are ready to rock and roll now. Got two pieces of equipment over here. Got the tractor with the rake, and the backhoe died on me, so I'm trying to charge up the battery a little bit. I'm probably gonna pull the backhoe up on and out and start using the tractor for all this stuff. Let's go. Okay, I think that's it as far as the trench goes. I'm pretty much probably gonna bring my rake down and set it in the trench in the bottom here and just kind of pull up and see if I can just move a little dirt up. I'm gonna start bringing dirt from up there, spraying it down here. Try to get this all leveled off to a nice clean slope going down with a little bit of a lip here for the turf to set into. At least that's the plan. All right, well, I think I lost some audio there, but I finished up that electrical trench and then it was time to get on with leveling out the ground the rest of the way for the sod. But that's where we want to end this first video because that electrical trench was such a kind of a nightmarish problem for quite a while. So we'll stop there. We do get to sod late eventually, but you're gonna have to tune into the next video for that. So as always, thank you so much for watching Garage Story. Stay safe, let's keep making stories, and we'll catch you on the next one.